With the civilization phase comes the rule of money. Money rules over the chaos, and only money profits from it. But the true bearers of the culture, the men whose souls are still one with the culture soul, are disgusted and repelled by the money power, and act to break it, as they are compelled to do so, and as the mass culture soul compels finally the end of the dictatorship of money. Thus, the civilization phase concludes with the age of Caesarism, in which great power comes into the hands of great men, helped by the chaos of late money rule. The advent of the Caesars marks the return of authority and duty and the end of democracy. With this arrives the imperialistic stage of civilization, in which the Caesars, with their bands of followers, battle each other for control of the earth. The great masses are uncomprehending and uncaring. The metropolis slowly depopulate, and the masses gradually return to the land to busy themselves there with the simple soil tasks as their ancestors century before. The turmoil of events goes on above their heads. Now, amidst all the chaos of the times, there comes a second religiosity, New Age cults, a longing to return to the old symbols of the faith of the culture. Fortified thus, the masses, in a kind of resigned contentment, burying their souls and efforts into the soil from whence they sprang, serving as a backdrop for the dying of the culture and the civilization it created. Human history is the cyclical record of the rise and fall of unrelated high cultures. These cultures are in reality super life forms, that is, they are organic in nature, and like all organisms, must pass through the phases of birth, life, and death.
People are still around then. They will experience a world far worse than the one we know now, which is already pretty fucking bad. You know, I really honestly believe that we're entering into the realm of destruction. You know, human beings are too complicated and destructive, and you know, even if we did become nice to each other and it was all, hi, how you going, you need a hand, motherfucker, you know, accidents alone would just, you know, fuck everything up. There's no hope. What's the fucking point of hope? I mean, look at history. It just progressively has raped the planet. Every civilization has just continuously raped it, sucked it dry. And now we're all sitting around, well-fed, laughing at each other like there was something fucking pleasant and nice about it. The world's not nice. I just think, especially in the West, you got all these people, we watch the news, thousands of people just died of fucking starvation somewhere in Africa, and we're just there, we keep eating. You have the news about the royal fucking baby, and all it says like, oh, how nice. Our attention has just gotten so perverted and polluted by this avalanche of crap that's been fed into us on the fucking TV, on the internet, in radio. You just get hammered on the head constantly. And you don't see reality, you don't see what is this shit?
Hughes saw the West as doomed to the same eventual extinction that all other high cultures were fated to. The West, he said, was now in the middle of its civilization phase, which had begun roughly with Napoleon. Yet Hughes did not counsel any kind of sighing resignation to fate or blithe acceptance of oncoming defeat and death. In his essay, he stated that the men of the West must still be men and do all they could to realize the immense possibilities still open to them.
I don't even find it depressing. Really, I don't find it depressing. We're just specks of dust in a whole infinite universe. Dust, that's all we are. And to attach all this importance to our lives and our civilization. Our civilization is a speck of dust. History runs back billions of fucking years, and we're just like frothing away, grains of sand, specks of dust. And if and when it all comes to collapse, and it all comes crashing down, if I'm alive to see that moment, I'm going to be relieved. I remember who it was that said something like, that everything is real, only when you can actually see it and look at it. The moment I step out of this room, it ceases to exist. There's no such thing as a tangible reality. And when you think of it like that, then the whole concept of civilizations starting, ending, being reborn, rotten economies, wars, everything, it kind of loses all significance when you think of it as just one big joke. A cosmic fucking joke.